What is up, and welcome into the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I am your host, Ezra McCann, and I'm joined, as always, by my outstanding co-host. He's a Chicago Public League legend. He's a Simeon legend. He's a Grambling State legend. He played second base for the Tigers. Back in the day, he was all SWAC. He is none other than Brandon Williams, a.k.a. Coach Smoke. And let's not forget, he is the head baseball coach at his alma mater, Simeon High School.
Gonna add something when you finish GM's.
That's gonna be real quick. It's just, hey, you're welcome, Glenn. And then we go
He's our football. Let's see. Let's call you an analyst because you do that. You do that for other people too. I see you hanging out with Stacey King and Mark Shanowski, my man. Let's call him an expert. He knows all things football. He is our GM, Glenn Morgan. Gentlemen, what's going on? How you guys doing?
I'm doing better than James. Well, actually, I'm not doing better than James Frank. He's $48 million richer, but at least my reputation isn't as called into question that his is right now.
No, I think I'll take that 48.
Yeah, no doubt.
Cool,
take 48 and go in anonymity. Be an analyst on TV.
Brandon, you said you got something for us.
Oh yeah, so it was last week. Yeah, last week I got an email naming me as an area coach of the year.
Wow!
What?
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah.
So you're on the list.
I'm on the list.
Congratulations!
So
the year.
So for 3A, of course, state champion. Pete Lotus from St. Lawrence, he was overall coach of the year, but then they did 4 area coaches of the year for 3A. And I guess I was the only one that wasn't in the final 4 of the state playoffs.
Oh, okay.
So that to me was somewhat of a big deal.
That's a huge
deal.
The
fact that I was
acknowledged,
put in the mix, and I didn't make it to the final 4. So yeah, that was big. That was a big deal for me.
We don't play around on this podcast, man. We get people of excellence.
Hey man, we see all the hard work that you put in.
Man, appreciate it.
You've what? This is year 3 for you, right?
I'm entering year 3.
Yeah, man.
Entering year 3.
That's good stuff, man. Congratulations, man. It's well deserved. And that's all right, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Show Ben Johnson how it's done, man. Come on.
What did Biz Marquis say? Damn, it feels good to see people up on it. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Let's get started here. Well, I guess we already got started. That's the big. Now we can end the podcast now. Jeez. But no, that's I guess we start with the Bears. Big win on Monday night. Big win. It was a big win.
It was a huge win for how we lost to them last year.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, they avenged the loss from last year. I was extremely worried because it looked like it was going in that same direction. It was a deja vu. And I was like, please don't let this thing happen again. They came out. Wait. They scared me first when they came out in the black uniforms. And I was like, oh my God.
They're ready.
This is looking just like last year. And they pulled it off. The Bears pulled it off. It was one of those games where it looked like we were given Washington every excuse to take control of this game and to win this game.
And Washington was trying to completely give us the game.
Exactly. And just I feel like it's been, man, because we played, this was the 3rd straight year we played in Washington. I think it's the 4th consecutive season we played them. And I feel like all these games have been
3rd straight year in Washington.
Yeah. But remember we played them on a Thursday night
in Chicago.
In Chicago that they won.
Right.
That was so I think it's 4 years.
That was 4 years ago. That was I want to say
Mooney dropped a pass.
Mooney game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's been, close games and in 3 of the 4. the first one in Washington was a blowout. That was
Was a
the
blowout.
Justin Fields,
Justin Fields, DJ
DJ
Moore
Moore
game.
game. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, they gave every excuse, but the Bears kept fighting, man. And I was ready. I had started marking things down on what went wrong in this game. Penalties, 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 and some of it was just bad officiating.
Bad officiating. Yes. There was some really
but
bad
the penalties, and you know what? They still pulled it off, man. They still pulled it off.
Still pulled it off. Look, I said, well, we was on the bye last week, so a couple weeks ago, I said this defense gets takeaways. They get takeaways, and it's just about our offense executing and putting up points. I felt like in past games, even the Raiders game, I didn't think we executed off the turnovers as well as I think we should have. This game, we did better, I'll say. We scored off all three turnovers for sure.
Right.
Had 10 off the first two turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
So we end up with 13 points off turnovers in total.
Yes.
Like that was big. But I felt like the offense could have did more. I felt like the game, like you said in the opening, like it was like we were trying not to win it at the same time with Washington trying to force us to win it. It was weird because I felt like we should have been blowing them out.
Yeah.
That's how I felt watching that game. And then it was like the more we just kept allowing Jaden to get going, it's like, oh shit. Oh wow, look up, now we're losing. What the hell? We were controlling this game. It felt like all game, and now all of a sudden we're losing. So that was big. One thing I've been saying since Caleb came around, when he go down, if it's one thing that I could say I absolutely love about him, when we're losing, he seems to be a different guy. Granted, I think it was a busted. I think Washington thought it was a delay of game, and they eased up on that touchdown that Swift got off the pad. But hey, so what? Sometimes luck is what you need in the moment. And that's what we got. I think we got lucky, but I'm not mad at it. I think we put ourselves in a position to allow luck to help us win that game. And it was a good revenge game for how things went last year. This was a huge win. Now, can we keep stacking on? It's 3 in a row. Let's see let's see if we can keep it going.
I'm gonna push back on a couple of things you said. Not like 100% or 180 on what you're saying, but in terms of the luck, I really believe that, and there are times where just fortune happens and you didn't do anything and it just goes your way. I don't feel that's how it's been for the Bears lately. I think
not lately. I'm thinking in this game.
No, I understand. I understand, and I'm saying lately into this game, I believe that what the Bears have been cultivating is a better environment, a better atmosphere, more of an aura.
True.
And I think with that, you create fortune to favor you, to come in your direction more, as opposed to what they've been doing the last several years, where they would do things and the misfortune would be attracted to them, as opposed to having things benefit them. So, for example, forcing a turn, even the very last turnover, where Jaden clearly mishandled the ball, and you can, he says he's not going to blame it on the weather. That being Jaden Daniels says he's not going to blame it on the weather. He's paid to do better. He lost focus. I understand that's how he feels and felt, and that's probably more the case than it is not. However, the Bears continue to play. They continue to press. They continue to do things. Who's to say that maybe out of his eye he saw a Bears player, and so that helped him divide his focus? If the Bears aren't being more aggressive, Even if he fumbles, they're not there to get the ball. So you're generating, you're creating, you're imbuing yourselves with this positivity, this ability to say, no, we're going to be winners. We're going to find a way to win. We're not out of this game. We're going to keep at it. And you see that generated from the players. You take DJ Moore, for example, all last year, and I know I talked about it a lot, his body language. I'm like, dude, it's just not right. He's not vibing. He's saying a lot by not saying anything, blah, blah, blah. Monday night, this guy's got an injured groin. He's still out there playing. He's not the primary target. He's throwing blocks and sacrificing his body that help perpetuate the situation for the Bears to be in a position to kick a field goal to win. They weren't doing that last year. That's an atmosphere. That's an attitude. We talk about culture. I think that's a little overused at times. I kind of get what people are saying. But aside from all that, you have to have an attitude. And you create an environment to foster that attitude, to create that type of aura you have, so those things do seem to come your way. Remember so many times in the past, I know as a young man, young kid even, I used to hate the Boston Celtics. Seemed like everything always bounced their way. Ball always bounced their way. Always lucky. How come all the good teams that don't need the luck get all the luck? You know, they don't need. No, it's because they have an aura. They have and they've created such a an energy around them that not only do they believe it, but it may affect even the referees, how they may call the game from time to time. You know, it may affect how other players act and react to them. So these things go in that direction. And we're starting to see that now with the Bears. The other thing as well, and as mentioned it, you know, the penalties, you know, like, yeah, that's still an issue. Some of it was bad calls, but let's keep in mind the Bears are averaging about 8 penalties a game, about 70 yards a game they're giving up. It's way too many. Right now, they have 43 penalties in 5 games, and they've given up, because of those penalties, they've lost or they've, you know, given 362 yards to their detriment. You know, that's not good. But to your point, B, in terms of the turnovers, I mean, you look at the last 3 games, they have 11, and they've only turned the ball over once, the Bears. Overall, the Bears turnover to, you know, ratio is 3-1 in their favor. They only have 4 turnovers all season. They've created 12. So that's plus 8. That is phenomenal. You're going to win games when you do that. So yeah, man. I say like to say, the penalties, yes, they have to be worked on, and that's working against them. The balance to that has been a turnover. They've been able to rectify some of these drives that have been nullified by getting the ball back and having field position to do something with it, you know. But overall, it's the mental attitude that they have is vastly different. And I know you guys say it's cheesy as hell. I get it, the better, best thing and all that stuff. But I promise you, you listen to how these guys, I'm talking about the players in the locker room, they're getting louder with it. They're all on this.
Hey, listen.
I'll give you that.
I'm not buying into that. I told y'all last time I bought in the club dub. They was partying harder every week, and I loved it. And it turned out to be fraudulent. So I don't want to be.
I'm just mad. We're in a text thread. I'm just mad that I got called out for having the old man take, but for not buying into this. I'm like, no, this is not an old man take. This is that I thought I had the you know what I'm saying, the new school thought in that. Like, what is this?
But here's the thing,
I'm too cool for this.
You know what? It's too cool for school. But here's the thing. That's why I say these guys, and it's different than the club dub thing. That's more of like a celebration. Here, this is like a mantra. This is like in our head. We've not given our best yet. And even our best, we can do better. And the coach, I believe, at least from my vantage point, that he believes what he says. He follows what he preaches. It's not disingenuous because he authenticates it by what he does. He realizes that he's not as good as he needs to be. He's learning as a head coach. He's making mistakes and he's learning how to adjust. And I think we saw a big part of that adjustment Monday night's game with the running a game. They were getting way better running lanes than we've seen all year. You know, we haven't seen runs like this since maybe a few years back.
Somebody might be benched.
Oh, that's already happened.
You about Braxton Jones?
Yeah, he gone.
He gone. Yeah. If he's not traded,
Theo won the
yeah,
job.
That's Theo's job right now.
Yeah.
And Darnell, right, playing with a bad elbow. But again, the running game, and they learn like, hey, you know what? I can't run some of these plays I can run with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. I've got to use it a little bit differently. I got to take Swift, as his namesake is. He is a swift player in terms of he's more agile, athletic in space. So you saw a lot of toss plays, and we weren't seeing that as much before. And he was getting a good running start. He's got pretty good vision, and he was able to make moves off of that.
Because of the blocking that was taking place for the Bear. I mean, had we tried some of those toss plays a couple weeks ago, they would have got blasted in the backfield. That's just what was happening.
Right. Well,
I think Darnell Wright being out, he saw what was going on with Ozzie Trapillo, and I think that got him going. It had to because he looked
that was his best game.
Absolutely, as a pro,
that might have been his best game as a pro. Real.
That had to work into it.
Here's the thing too: when you've got your tight ends healthy and they both can play, they're helping in the running game. You've got athletes out there, so you can make these blocks into the second unit, second level, I should say. Excuse me, defense.
That's true. That's crazy because you say that because you mentioned DJ Moore, you mentioned the tight ends. I can literally remember and see right now in my mind all of them contributing to blocking in the run game. I really can. Like damn. Like I can DJ was out there sacrificing his fucking life, it looked like.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing it last year.
Even a very underrated block of the game that looked like he was getting killed was a doomsday. When Caleb ran and slid, he still took a 2-yard loss, but he slid in bounds. But if you go back and watch that play, a doomsday was getting manhandled, but he was holding his ground. The guy with a doomsday head was like, I'm like, okay.
I don't get paid to do this stuff.
Hey man, I was pissed. I told you I lost the parlay.
Yeah.
But that damn touchdown they called back was the third damn catch.
Well, that was a BS call.
That was terrible.
Terrible call. If you saw they didn't have a shot right down the line, but you really didn't need it.
No.
And I initially
thought the receiver might have been off.
That's what I thought. I initially thought it was one of the receivers. They all looked to be on the same line. So I thought it was one of them. To say it was the lineman, I'm like, what?
You don't make that call. His helmet, I guess the rule is your helmet has to be in line with the waist of the center, basically. He was pretty much there. That's a call that you should not call it. And this officiating crew, I guess they are they throw the most flags in the league. I think the head official.
It's his first year.
It's his first year, so I think he's trying to show that I can control the game.
On top of everything.
Yeah, and it's like, come on, dude, let him play. Let him play.
There's reffing, and then there's officiating that can lead into over officiating, which is what we saw, and that ends up making what could be a good game. It makes it sloppy. It jams up it gums up the works, and we were seeing that. It was difficult. It's probably why those teams at times seem disjointed. That they were out of rhythm.
I mean, because speaking to the one I say was Swift, the touchdown. How quick they were with the flags. I think Washington thought they were going to throw the flag on the delay of game.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And I felt watching that play when he hiked the ball, I'm like, something seems off here.
Right. It did seem off. Yeah.
I'm like, something seems off here. Right. And then Swift called it, and it was like, okay. And I was like, did they throw a flag? Like something seemed off.
Right.
It just something seemed off there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe they just like the way they calling this game, they about to call this delay game, but they didn't. And so
But nah, later for that crew. I don't think they're going to the playoffs. Good riddance.
Yeah, that crew is not going to be at the
Later
playoffs.
for
But yeah,
them.
you look at the Bears, the last 2 weeks, it's the same score, 25-24. And it comes
crazy.
down to, special teams in the last
Kicking.
play.
That's crazy.
Block field goal, and then the Bears able to make one with Jake Moody, of all people, who had just obviously been recently released by the 49ers.
Honestly, just for his mental health.
Yes.
I wanted him to make that, because can you imagine had he missed that?
It'd been tough. He'd been done maybe as a pro.
Man,
that's tough.
So good for him. I'm glad he made it, because my he helped my team win. But man,
good for Caleb and them for helping him get closer. Because I'm like, whew. I'm like, we got to get closer, man. We got to get closer.
I was worried that they were gonna pull a Matt Nagy there. Remember in Miami,
and Green Bay.
Let's just settle for this 52-yard field goal. But no, they did what they needed to do. They continued to run the ball.
Yeah,
which is important. If you're getting 5, 6, 7 yards of rip, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep going.
Which I didn't understand why they didn't do it on
that 4th and 1. Yeah, I'm with you too. That didn't make any sense, because Roschon had just got 6 yards.
I'm not mad you went for it. Like,
right.
I wasn't
running the ball very well.
I think he second guessed himself.
Now, granted, I do give credit to the defender on that play.
Yeah,
because Rome was wide open.
No, he read it perfectly.
He made a good play. Caleb thought he was going to blitz. He backed out. And so I do give him credit, but I was like, why we don't run the ball here?
Run the ball. Yeah.
We've been running. If we get stopped on the run here, then
congratulations.
But it was good to see. Good to see, man.
I'll say this about the defense. And again, first 2 weeks stopping a run just seemed like, a memory,
bro.
But they're doing a much better job containing the run and doing things enough to make it 3rd and long, make them have to work to convert a 3rd down. Now, granted, they gave up 124 yards, but about 50 of those yards were from scrambles. That, just Jaden Daniels doing Jaden Daniels thing. But other than that, man, I mean, they did a good job of containing the run. They forced a fumble as well, off of Crosby. He's got the hyphenated name.
Crosby Merritt or something like that.
Crosby Merritt, right. But and Terrell, and he may not be everyone's best middle line. He's not going to be a Hall of Fame linebacker, probably. He's not going to be one of the Bears all-time. Yeah, Edmonds.
TJ? Tremaine.
Tremaine. He's not going to be one of the Bears' all-time great middle linebackers, some of that we've had here historically. But I tell you what, Wimpy, he has been moving much more purposefully in this defense, and he was all over the field the other night. I mean, he had 13 total tackles combined, and he's got, I think, 30 solo tackles on the season with another 12 assisted. So he may not be the sack guy, but he is a sure tackler. And he is getting out there.
I see something different in this defense this year.
Mm-hmm. It's a technical defense.
They're hitting. These tackles ain't being no soft ass tackles that they're putting on the defenders. I mean, on the offense that they're going against.
Right.
I'm like, they're hitting. This ain't no. Even when they give up yards, they land a hammer. It's like, okay, I'm liking what I see. Like,
hey, you know who some of the harder hitters are? The cornerbacks. We got some big cornerbacks, right?
We just need Brisker to stay under control, because at some point he gonna lose his mind and go head first and gonna be out for the year, because he's an idiot.
Be cool, number 9. But yeah, you're right though. Gordon, it was good to see TJ Edwards back out there. Mm-hmm. He looked pretty good. Did you see the one play? Billings got the backfield. Now he didn't make the play, but he broke down to try to stop Jaden Daniels, and obviously Jaden Daniels got away. But Billings is a big boy, and I was like, man, that was good effort right there. I gotta give him that. I gotta give him good
Yeah.
effort for that.
Don't
But no, you're right. Dennis
don't
Allen
don't get an
is
ACL trying to tackle him.
right.
Man.
Dennis Allen is calling a really good defense.
Mhm.
You know, they had the one the touchdown pass where you had the miscommunication.
To McCaffrey.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
guess Wright thought they were in
That
Well,
that
man.
that's
was
going to
just,
happen
that was
when
just a good play.
Yeah. Uh,
We had one of them. I think Caleb was just focused on getting the first down.
where he took
He
off, but
ran for it
yeah,
because Adunze got free, and I think his mindset was third down. I need to get the first down. I'm not
yeah.
about to even try to do nothing crazy.
yeah.
So, but
Even
yeah,
though that disconnect on that miscommunication, keep in mind, it's going to happen when guys haven't been playing together enough, you know, and it's still a new defense. So you've got Gordon coming back, and you can just tell it's just that was a I thought you were gonna, kind of play, and neither one did, and McCaffrey just leaked out and it was
I
wide
think they
open.
just went for the fake because Jaden faked it to the receiver like it was a
Yeah,
screen.
the underneath guy, right.
He
Mm-hmm.
faked it to him, and they jumped,
Mm-hmm.
and whoever the safety was maybe is the problem.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like you don't both jump,
Yeah.
and if you're the safety, you can't let anybody get behind you. It's kind of like 1-on-1 right there. But I mean, and again, that happens from time to time. I get it, but how you respond afterwards and throughout, and the Bears they are responding to adversity. They're not being swept away by it. And again, that's a mindset, that's an attitude adjustment, realignment, and they're believing. And with these wins, they're starting to develop that confidence. They're starting to create some kind of continuity. You're starting to get to see some of the same people in the same position so that they can understand and be better at what they're doing. The offensive line is starting to show a little more synchronicity than it's displayed the first 2 to 3 weeks. Right now, I was thinking about it. Outside of the running back, as a unit, the running back room, which is okay. They need a little more dynamism back there. Um, Monangai, he's nice, but his vision at the NFL level, he's got to improve that. Roshan, I don't know who he is yet as an NFL player. He hasn't played enough. Outside of the running back unit, I really don't see a discernible weakness
Mm-mm.
on this
So,
team.
with you saying that, and I posted this on Facebook. When Chuba comes back in Carolina, if you're Ryan Poles, do you contact them about the possibility of either him or Rico Dowdle? Because the way Rico's playing right now, you got to make a decision on your running back room in Carolina. Do you contact them to possibly get you a David Montgomery type back to have a semi similar offensive personnel to Detroit? Swift can be Gibbs. He don't necessarily run with much power, but he can be Gibbs. The bootleg version, however you want to be, he can be Gibbs. But we don't have a Montgomery type back.
Yeah, I don't. I think Chubb is more of a speed guy than an in between the tackles kind of guy. Dowdle, I think he can be that, but I don't know that his framing. I don't see 17 games of him doing that. I see him as like as what he has been 3, 4, 5 games. He may be phenomenal,
Yeah,
but
he won't be the primary back. That's the thing.
well, yeah, I'm not upset with it. I mean, we'll see. I mean, they seem to do things with the Panthers as far as do deals with them. Um, If Braylon Allen hadn't gotten hurt with the Jets, I was kind of wanting someone like him or Brees Hall, whichever one the
That's
Jets
what I
are
was
able to
thinking
give up.
about.
But with Braylon Allen being gone and
going down, yeah,
they
that
can't
was a good
pass
one.
at all.
Yeah.
But there's some other running backs out there, man. It's just, are you going to pull the trigger? Some guys just aren't being used. Tajay Spears. Do you reach for him? I mean, look, some of these teams that are struggling, either or teams that
Can Roshan be that guy though?
I don't know. I think they want him to be because he drafted him, but
I thought he could, but then I look at him and then I see like Rico. I'm like,
more
damn,
explosive.
I didn't on TV. Roshan looks smaller than I thought he was. Maybe that's just me. He looks smaller than I thought he was. He don't look that bigger than Manunga. On TV, he did.
Well,
I didn't even know. I didn't even know that was him in the backfield.
Wait, I was gonna say I've only seen him run the ball one time,
and I didn't know that was him until they said his name. I'm like, oh shit, Roshan back.
I saw 23. I was like, oh, that's good. Okay, very good. I didn't know he was active.
Look to Miami. They might want to come off some of their running backs. I mean, there are a lot of teams that thought that they would be better than where they're at that may need to start really considering letting some of their players go. And if they can get something for a running back, which you don't really get as much for them.
Cleveland ain't gonna do that.
What's that?
To back up in Cleveland now.
You're talking about
is it Ford?
Ford?
Yeah, they're not gonna do that because Judkins a rookie.
Yeah, but they got Dylan Sampson just sitting there. He's a between the tackles kind of guy. I mean, there's like I said, Miami's got some running backs. The Ravens have some running backs. They might want to maybe let go. Tennessee. I mean, some of these teams just aren't going to be going anywhere. And running back is a position, you can give up a running back, get something for fifth or sixth rounder, because running backs are kind of a dime a dozen. If you can get something for one of your running backs, why not do it? Because you're not using them anyway. You're not going anywhere, and you can probably get one in free agency next year if you're one of these teams that the Bears do trade with. You look at Philadelphia. I mean, AJ Dillon, they hardly use him. They still got Will Shipley.
He just fumbled too. They might want to get rid of.
Yeah, and they remember. Don't forget, they traded for
the guy out of that game.
They traded for the guy out of Jacksonville, who's backing up ATN. His name's escaping me right now.
I remember.
But they traded for him, so he's just kind of languishing as well. So yeah, man, it's getting a running back just to have another body back there that can do something. I think would really be beneficial. Edge rusher, I don't know that you want to. You're not trying to. If you get someone like Henderson, it's too much money for one position. You got too much money invested in that one position, unless you're getting rid of one of those two guys.
I was gonna say you're spending so much on defense now as it is.
And
I think the Bears have the fifth highest payroll on defense.
And you've invested a lot of draft capital on the other side of the ball. So at some point you're gonna have to pay them.
Right.
So
yeah. So
but another thing that came to my mind. So we're 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
Vibes are great. Good vibes, right? Saints next week. We're looking at possibly 4-2. What's wild to me is we were 4-2 last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Washington game happened.
Yeah.
It's looking like we're going to be 4-2 this year. And then Lamar Jackson returns.
No, let's not look past New Orleans just yet.
True. I said that. They're not your typical 1-5 team.
Yeah, they 1-5. And at times they look like the worst team in the league. Then at times they look pretty good. They played Buffalo very well. They beat the Giants. This ain't no pushover Saints team.
They're not.
We gotta show up and play some ball on
But they
Sunday.
got to come here, and the weather might be a little tricky.
What's the
It's supposed to rain, and it's probably gonna be in the 60s.
okay.
So
Well, to your point, B, and yeah, save that for later. You're right. The schedule it doesn't look anywhere near as daunting as it did before the season began, and even after the first 2 weeks of play. All of the games, even the one at Philadelphia, yeah, that one you probably like, yeah, it's gonna be a tough one because it's on the road. It's a short week. You play Pittsburgh, and then 5 days later you're playing Philly in Philly. So that can possibly work against you, and you're coming off of kind of a tough stretch with Minnesota on the 16th of November, then Pittsburgh, and then followed by Philadelphia, then Green Bay. So that's probably the tightest stretch that you would look right now and say those teams are going to be tough. Minnesota because it's a division game, and they're still very much in the mix. Pittsburgh obviously is leading their division. Philadelphia is Philadelphia, and Green Bay. It's the first time we're playing them, and it's at Green Bay. The Giants, they're a different team than they were, just like the Bears were. So that one's not a cakewalk either, but that is here in Chicago. The Bengals aren't the Bengals without Joe Burrow, and I'm not worried about Flacco. In Baltimore, I'm not so much worried about Lamar being the issue. I think the Ravens really need to be concerned about their defense. Their defense has been atrocious. I think they're like 30th overall or 31st overall.
yeah, they've been pretty
But
bad.
they've
Yeah.
been banged up though.
And that's fine, and I'm all happy for that in terms of how the Bears are going. I like the Ravens. I'm a low key Ravens fan in terms of teams that are not the Bears that I root for. But we're catching them at the right time, and I've always maintained this, and I'll always will. NFL football in general, but definitely NFL football. A lot of times, man, when you catch teams makes all the difference in the world. How you are, the way you are, and when you are playing someone else and how they are at that same time. Really, you're not going to know that until you meet one another, because again, like I said, beginning of the season, you look at that stretch, you're like, man, Baltimore at Cincinnati, man, it doesn't look good. Yeah, a month later, it's like, man, dude, it looking like the Bears. They might be able to stack them. New Orleans, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Giants are here. If that's 4 more wins, I mean, now you're talking you're 8-2. It's like at this point, 11-6 seems very much attainable. It really does. A double-digit wins seems like you should at least get 10 is what it seems like. Now, granted, the Bears need to stay healthy, and there's a whole 2/3 of the season left to play. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves, but it does look a lot better. And as we said earlier, there's not a discernible weakness unit-wise on this team at this point. The Bears are looking pretty stout.
This feels like the trap we ran into last year. You remember Jim, not you.
No,
But you remember Ed thought we were going to start
7-2.
and we were at 4-2, and Ed was in our look. We are right there. We are right there. And then boom. All hell broke.
And then they have the Hail Mary came.
And that's why I'm like, and that's why I'm looking at that 5th game. That 5th potential win will be the Baltimore game to put us at 5-2. It scares me a little bit because of what last year went like. That's all I'm saying. That will be a possible game where Lamar returns. Yeah. If he don't return next week, or however it's gonna go,
but that's fine.
It's like
let me ask you this: at the beginning of the season, were you counting that as a win or a loss?
Loss.
I counted it as a loss.
Right. So at this point, if it is a loss, it's not any different than what you thought it was going to be at the beginning of the season.
I'm gonna be out in that area that weekend, and thought about going to Baltimore for that game, and then I said, nah, I don't want to see a loss. So I said no.
So right, but now you feel a little differently.
Playing with house money now.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, B, and like, in terms of being the traumatized Bear fans that we have been, I get it, but I just this just feels
It
different to
feels
me.
different. It does. It
Well, I'm
does.
saying let's not even worry about Baltimore yet.
Right.
Spencer Rattler.
Well, he can't win a game. he's I think you know
He's
who he
got to
is.
he's got to have a chip on his shoulder coming into this game here,
I don't care
going up
about those
against the
Spencer
Caleb
Rattler.
Williams. No, all
He
right.
may, but I don't care about those. But what's the old girl's name who could never win an Emmy from Daytime Emmy for All My Children?
Susan Lucci.
Susan. He's a
Don't
Susan Lucci of
don't ask me
football.
why I know that.
No, I knew you would know. It's a funny thing about it. I actually knew you would know. And no shade. I knew you would know. That's why I gave you everything else but her name. I was like, Ed's gonna know her name. Dude,
Erica Kane.
Erica
Yes,
Kay. Dude,
yes.
he is the Susan Lucci of the NFL. He can't win. He just can't win. And it's not all his fault. He just whatever it is, he just can't win. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be maintained here. And the Bears, it's been 3 weeks in a row that they've had three or more turnovers they're forced. I think that trend continues going against the Saints. I really do. I can see Spencer giving up at least 2 picks. You know, now hey, Alvin Kamara is a little long in the tooth, but that's another running back that potentially, and it seems like it's kind of the same thing with Swift, but having two veteran running backs is better than having one. I mean, he knows what the heck he's doing, and Dennis Allen knows him. You know what I'm saying? So, I wouldn't discount maybe having someone like Alvin Kamara come to the Bears, considering the Saints are not going to be going anywhere. He's a little long in the tooth. You can knock something off the payroll. There's a whole bunch of running backs coming out next year as well. You know, Alvin Kamara, Swift.
What would you give up for a Kamara?
I'll give it a fifth round. Yeah, if they've got that fifth round, they're going for that fifth round and throwing a body if they need some. I don't know, somebody. but yeah, I'm just saying, there's some stuff out there like that. But yeah, man, it just feels different. I don't think I've ever said in all my years, all my hawkisms, in all my years, I don't think I've ever said it before this coach, but I feel like this guy is my head coach. I'm T.O. This is my quarterback, man. Like this is my head coach because he's accountable to himself. He's holding these players to account. The coaching staff feeds off him. He doesn't overreact. He thinks through the problems. I think he's relatable enough to the players. I think there's an authenticity about him, and it may seem somewhat cheesy, but it's not like the hits program. It's not like Eberflus's hits thing. It's not manufactured cheese. It's more like, yo, this is who I am. This is how I am. Let's get at it. And he believes that. And I think his youth is something that, we haven't had that type of energy since maybe Dave Wannstedt in terms of a younger coach, head coach coming in and you feeling like, okay, this guy can be here for a number of years. But I believe this guy, he thinks through things. You can see him working through the problems. And I like that. Eberflus, I didn't feel like he knew what was going on. I think Lovey was consistent with what he did. Lovey's like, this is how we win. But I don't know that he was a great game adjuster during the game. I think he was really good at preparation. I think his game adjustment left something to be desired for. This guy, I think
Well, on the
he's
defensive side of the ball, he did.
Yeah, to some degree. But again, they stuck with what they knew, and he had really good players, and
That's true.
they could execute what was required of them to do so. And he was, because when they didn't have health that one year when they kept getting injured.
Well, yeah. Whenever Urlacher was out, the Bears.
It's a big
Bears
difference,
were done. Yeah.
So I think with this head coach, man, I like his approach, and I think he's pragmatic enough to understand, like, you know what, I'm like, I'm gonna keep putting my head up against the wall here. We gotta do something different. And I think again, I think this past week's running game exemplified, an adjustment that worked significantly, against a pretty decent team on the road. What you have to do, you got to be able to run the ball. Like you said, they were, for the most part, the Bears were controlling a lot of aspects of that game. It's just, at times penalties, field position, and Jaden Daniels doing Jaden Daniel things. It almost was a game that the Bears didn't win, but they persevered, and that's a good thing.
Brandon, you were about to say something?
I mean, forgive me for being the fractured Bears fan. I'm not ready to go there yet.
With the coach, you mean?
With Ben. I'm not. He's doing good. I'm riding with him.
I think you
have to see it. I have to see it past year one.
I think you're entitled to that.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I get it.
We've been through a lot here. Going back, I mean,
I never believed in Nagy. I was like,
I was going to say going back to Tressman.
Well, that's a joke.
Yeah. I mean, John Fox was brought in. He got us back to normalcy. We didn't become a good football team again with him, but he got us back to normal because it was a clown show before he got here.
I say a lot of this to say, like, I mean, Washington is the one good team we beat, right?
Yeah.
We kind of have a favorable schedule.
Now it is.
It's just it's too early for me.
You know what, B? I'm not even basing it on the wins.
And it's I like what I'm seeing.
That's what I'm basing it on.
I like what I'm seeing. I'm a fractured Bears fan. That's
I
just
get
what
it.
it come down to. Like, I don't want to jump the gun too soon. And
it's
then
okay to get out there and love again.
And then we be the fucking Jets, and Aaron Glenn turns into the Detroit Lions. Because let's not forget how the Dan Campbell era started. It looked like what the hell Aaron Glenn is going through in Detroit. I mean, with the Jets right now. And it changed. A culture was built. Like, so I'm just, that's all I'm saying. I'm like,
it's okay, man. It's okay. Let's talk about it. Okay.
I need therapy.
It's all right. You can learn to trust again. Just take it one game at a time.
Oh man.
I say
one game at a time.
I'm with you, Smoke. Let's hold off. Let's see where we are. But things are looking good so far. So far, so good. So far, so good. Hey, let's talk some college. I guess the big story of the week was
Tennessee Volunteers. No, not them.
No. They look good though. My Northwestern Wildcats with the big upset of Penn State.
Is it upset now? These Lady Lions can't seem to win. I mean, UCLA kind of beat to the punch.
And that led to the firing of head coach James Franklin. I forgot he'd been there for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
And he got there after Bill O'Brien.
Right. 2 years.
Brought them back
after the Sandusky thing.
After Joe Pa and the Sandusky scandal and all that.
That just gave me
which
creepy
to
chills.
this day I still don't like or respect the Penn State program. James Franklin made it a little better. I will give you that, but just just based on where they were.
Yeah.
The fact that you hired a guy like James Franklin, okay, cool. But the problem is you got to win up there, and
And this is
he did win, but the big game, the big wins didn't come. He
they
couldn't he
did.
couldn't beat the top 10 teams.
They did.
Um,
But hey, like you said, for a piece of shit program that did things they did, I think James Franklin is the winner here.
oh,
50 million to go away. I have no I have no sympathy for you getting fired. You deserve to get fired. You can't lose to Northwestern. That
absolutely. You
shit
can't
can't
lose
happen.
to you
No, you
can't
can't
lose
use
to
UCLA,
UCLA
who hadn't won.
and
And
Northwestern back to
and
back.
then lose to Northwestern.
Yeah,
Right.
you can't do that
UCLA losing to
at home.
UCLA was tough. It was bad. It was starting to
No, that's
write
really
them
bad.
fire papers.
It wasn't even really close.
But then when you lose to Northwestern the next week, oh yeah, you can. It's over with. You quit. That's what happened. He quit on the tape. It's you supposed to beat Northwestern by accident. Like and y'all were a preseason
National champion.
National
favorite.
champion favorite.
top
Yeah.
3 team.
Well, they brought it out. Here's the deal. He brought that team back from last year. A lot of those guys,
Yeah.
and asked for the NIL money. Said, "Hey, we gotta get these guys money."
took
And
Ohio State's D
took
coordinator,
their
correct?
defensive coordinator, took Ohio State's
And then
defensive
they brought
coordinator.
in Matt Patricia. Ain't
There
that a
was
bitch?
there was a huge huge investment made on this football team, and now you can say it over above the table.
He thought he was winning.
Yeah.
He said, "We're gonna take their DC," and these people brought in Matt Patricia. Man, there's levels to this. That's what he learned.
But who knew Matt Patricia would do what he's doing at Ohio State right now though?
I guess he did.
Yeah.
Shit, he
True
was doing
that.
it in the NFL until
He
he
took the
decided to
job.
want to be a OC.
So what does James Franklin do now? You get your buyout money.
Hey man, who want me to be an assistant?
You think
I'll
so?
come help out.
No.
I think he gets him a media job.
Yep.
I
Oh,
think
he's
he
definitely
gets
gonna go in the media.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
he goes to ESPN or Fox, Big Ten.
He goes to Fox
He's
Big
got
Ten, I think. Yeah.
he's got SEC ties. Yeah, he
He
can do
does.
SEC network.
Yeah, I guess it's all about
Well,
what he want to do. When you get
Yeah.
50 million to go away,
Yeah.
it's what you want to do. What is Ed Orgeron doing with that 80 million LSU game?
eating a lot of eating a lot of
I'll tell you
crawfish
what.
right about now.
Ed Orgeron was at Grambling practice a
I
couple
know.
weeks
That's
ago.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Doing stuff
yeah.
like that. What are you doing at Grambling, Ed? What are you doing at Grambling? You're just doing stuff. I got 80 million to walk away. I'm gonna go anywhere I want
Oh
to.
man, good stuff. Yeah. So yeah, media job, and then I think he gets
Hey
a
man,
choice.
the Arkansas job might not look too bad for him if he wants to go back to the SEC. Although Petrino's there, so they'll probably get it after Bobby Petrino
James
again.
Franklin? You said go right back into coaching after $50 million buyout? Man, that's some dedication. I'm not working for a while. You give me
But you
50
can't. But you know
million
what?
up front.
You can't go away too long though.
That's why I said go be an assistant.
No,
I'm gonna do the bare minimum.
I think if he had
linebackers coach or something,
if his reputation was ruined on the line like Bobby Petrino was, then maybe you have to humble yourself and take a position or a coordinator's position or a positional coach. But yeah, he still got head coach vibe.
Head coaching is
Big 12.
Too
I mean,
much responsibility when you just gave me $50 million at once.
I agree.
Much responsibility.
It may not be next year. He may sit out. You know,
I'm not gonna be dedicated to the craft if I just got $50 million.
But that's
at one time.
Football is his lifeblood, man.
Look, I know I know a scammer when I see it. He gonna go he gonna go to Arkansas and get a head coach job and get another buyout. And
Man, that's the way to do it, man. That's the way to do it.
I'm in the wrong profession.
I should have gone into coaching.
But you know what? It's crazy because there's going to be a huge coaching carousel now. You know, Arkansas job, Penn State job, probably going to be a few more other jobs. And who's to say that maybe the Georgia Tech head coach,
Wisconsin's
going to probably be open. Who's to say the Georgia Tech head coach, maybe the Iowa State head coach, those guys don't leave the ACC and the Big 12 and step up a class to the SEC and the Big 10. And that may open up. That's going to open up their the jobs they leave. And so I could see Franklin at a school like Georgia Tech.
I've said you brought up Georgia Tech. Why
Mm-hmm.
is that not a bigger job?
Because it's an
ACC
academic
school. You're in Atlanta.
You're in Atlanta, yeah. But that's part of the problem. You're in Atlanta. You're recruiting against Georgia. Georgia is the state. You know, it's Georgia Tech in Georgia is like Vanderbilt in Tennessee. You're both really strong academic schools. Georgia Tech is more of a, business and engineering type kind of school. Vanderbilt, kind of the doctoral kind of stuff and what have you. So you're in Nashville. You're in Tennessee. How come you can't recruit because you got a reputation?
Well, historically, Nashville is just becoming Nashville.
But I'm just saying. I mean, look, Vandy might be on to something. The Vanderbilt head coach, he might be someone that other schools are starting to look at because they're having two back-to-back really good seasons. Vanderbilt still has a shot at making the playoffs.
James Franklin had him playing well when he was there.
He did, but playing well at Vandy was relative. He had him ranked a couple of times. I think they might have won maybe 8 or 9 games once. But this coach here, they might win 10 games this year at Vanderbilt. That is unheard of. Can you maintain that? It's possible with NIL money, but it's also possible that if some of these other schools start calling you, you're going to leave Vanderbilt. So there's going to be a lot of coaching changing and some positions open up. And I think James Franklin could very well find himself, if he wants to go back to coaching, there's going to be another couple of good landing spots for him to settle into.
All right, one more question before we go to picks. Why is Illinois not ranked in the in AP poll?
Some BS.
Because they lost really bad to Indiana,
the number 3 team in the country.
Right, and then they lost to Ohio State,
the number 1 team in the country.
And they beat USC.
Yeah.
Barely.
Why are you not?
They beat USC. USC still ranked.
They beat USC at
got
home.
2 losses.
They got one loss. That's their one loss.
Only have 1 loss.
That's their only
Illinois.
loss. USC only loss.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they look really bad
against
Indiana.
The Indiana game.
I thought USC had 2 losses, so I'll back down then.
They ran into a buzzsaw at Indiana.
And it wasn't even that close.
It got bad quick.
It could have been 70 points.
It was bad.
It got bad quick. I get that. But they're still the number 3 team in the country.
Yeah.
Your only other loss is the number 1 team in the country, Ohio State. You should be in the top 25.
I think you can make a good argument that they should be somewhere like between 21 and 25.
Yeah, I'm not honestly. You know what?
They're actually
if Illinois wins out,
AP they're 26.
Yeah,
they're the first team out.
Illinois wins out, a 2-loss Illinois team might have a shot, something to say about a playoff spot.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of teams are going to have 2 losses that are in the playoffs. They're going to be maybe 3 teams that have 3 losses.
It's going to go back to that. If they can do it, it's going to go back to that loss at Indiana.
So
is that too much to overcome?
So question: Big Ten is no longer separated by 2 separate sides,
conference.
Right?
None of them are.
Okay.
No division.
I take it Indiana doesn't play Ohio State this regular season.
I think.
Let me see.
I
They
want to
do
say.
not.
Yeah, I think this
So
Penn.
they'll meet in a Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends if they.
It depends, yeah, on what happens, but it looks pretty good. Indiana's got Michigan State, who's always, no matter what, is always tough. They got UCLA, Maryland,
Michigan
Penn
State
State,
lost to UCLA. They ain't
Wisconsin, and Purdue.
They good.
Indiana should be all right.
Only game ahead of Ohio State is Michigan. That
Ohio State's got they've got Wisconsin this week. They've got Penn State, Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, and Michigan.
Possible loss.
That's a man. Pretty good schedule there for.
We headed for a collision course of Indiana, Ohio State.
Okay. Illinois. This is they've got Washington.
That's tough. Gonna be tough game.
Tough. No, that's a tough game at Washington. They got Rutgers, always tough. Maryland at home. They're at Wisconsin, and then they've got the rivalry game against Northwestern at home.
They actually have some games that if they win them will help them.
Last one's a tough one. Northwestern game.
Illinois, here we go. I don't know.
I said all them tough. Maryland, Rutgers.
Yeah. Rutgers will be physical. Maryland,
Washington.
that quarterback, they got a nice young quarterback.
I'll say this. I don't think Illinois that damn good to get through 3 tough games and win them all.
No, they can. These games they're all winnable.
Yes.
That's not going to be. They're not cakewalks.
They're winnable, but you can see them losing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I don't see them as being that good of a team to survive 3 straight tough, winnable games. I just don't see them as being that good of a team.
That's because you're a hater.
I root for them.
No, I'm just joking.
I root for them.
That's because you're a traumatized Illinoisan. This just goes back to living in this state. The expectations are the worst is going to happen. Now, you know what? I was where you were, B, after the butt kicking to Indiana. I was like, oh man, they're not who I thought they were. But coming back and beating USC, competing the way they did against Ohio State, they're a lot more tough-minded. And again, like you said, it's the number 1 and number 3 team they lost to. Other than that, they're looking pretty good. Yeah, and I think Balima's a pretty good coach. I think they can. I think they can go 10-2, probably 9-3. Is probably what's going to end up happening. They might just miss the playoffs, But if they go 10-2, man, they got a shot. But that Indiana loss, man, that's
a huge loss. I'll give you that. I will give you that. Hey, fellas, let's go to picks. We were off last week. So we go back from 2 weeks ago. Glenn, you and I both went 2-1 in that week.
I'm so bad right now.
And then Smoke, you went 1-2.
I got a win.
You did get a win. You took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Was always a good thing, but lost with the Browns. Was that what game was that with the Browns?
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Browns.
I got it right here. Let's see. It was Brown. It was the Packer game.
Lost that one?
It was the Packer game. Wait a minute. No, you won that. Wait a minute. Hold on. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Vikings. It was the Vikings.
And I think I picked the Packers.
I got you with the Browns plus 3.5.
with the Vikings. Okay,
With
that
the-
was the
yeah.
London game, right?
Right,
Wasn't that
right,
London? Okay,
right. Vikings won
or overseas,
21-17.
whatever that was.
Right.
Right. Yep.
Okay. That's where we are. All right. So overall, I'm in first place at 7-5. Glenn, you're in second, 6-6. Smoke, you are 4-8.
Yeah.
So Smoke, you are up first. Who you
Okay.
got?
First, I'm going Vegas plus 12.5 versus Kansas City.
Plus 12 and a half? That's a lot of
Yes.
points, even if
They
it
might
is
actually
Kansas
win that
City.
game.
I think they are. I do not believe. I don't think Kansas City is as good as they've been in the past. I think
Rasheed
that
Davis is coming back, or
I
Rasheed
think Rasheed Rice.
Rice. I'm sorry.
I
Rasheed
watched
Davis.
that
I
whole.
saw Rasheed Davis on the Bears postgame show on Channel 7.
I watched that whole Detroit Kansas City game, and I feel like how we feel as Chicago Bears fans when it comes to officiating. Detroit should feel that way in that game. I left watch, and I've never been one to feel like the refs favor Kansas City
They came
until
across
I
that
watched
game.
that game.
Have you
Until
guys
I
seen?
watched that game.
Hey, Smoke, did you see they posted a one of those AI video things, and it had
Uh,
the it was the Chiefs and the Lions game, and they got Kelsey going up to a ref with a credit card and and
I ain't
and,
see that
and
one.
swiping his credit
I didn't
card
see
with the
that.
ref.
That's funny.
All right, I got that one. I will go
AI is undefeated.
Philly minus 1.5 at
Eagle.
Minnesota.
All right.
Oh, man, this feels like a trap. But I am here to tell the world that although I still got love for him, no more a believer. I'm taking Carolina minus 1.5 at the Jets. Yeah, the Justin Fields era is over.
Oh
It's over
man,
with.
I'm
you let us down.
It's over with, dog. It's over
he
with.
just man. I watched a little bit of that game,
I watched the whole
uh,
game
of the London
Oh
game.
God, how
He
could
just
you sit through that?
because I got
he
Garrett
holds the
Wilson and the tight end
Oh,
as my damn receivers.
he holds the
Because
ball
I was
too damn long,
entirely too
man.
long, bro.
Too long. And I love Justin Fields, man, but he's got to get better. Got to.
that's not gonna happen. He's a career backup at best, unfortunately.
At best.
All
I'll
right.
just blame the Bears. I say the Bears ruined him.
It was rough. It was a rough ride. All right, Glenn, who you got?
Like my esteemed co-host, I'm going to take the Eagles minus 1.5 against the Vikings. Just can't see the Eagles losing 3 in a row. Then I'm going to go college. Big rivalry game between Nebraska and Minnesota. I'm going to take the home dog, the Golden Gophers, plus 7.5 against the Cornhuskers. I really want to take Tennessee plus 8 against Bama, but I really don't want to jinx my school. So I just had it off to the side. I will take a former Tennessee head coach, however, and I will take the Ole Miss Rebels plus 7.5 on the road against the Bulldogs from Georgia. I think Ole Miss might actually win that game outright. The
7.
USC Notre Dame
That
game is
seems like a lot
interesting
of
too.
points. I know
It does
they who did
barely beat the
they
other week.
barely beat Washington State.
USC. I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
Ole
no, no.
Miss.
Ole Miss did.
Yeah, I think they were looking past Washington State to the Georgia game. It's a classic trap game.
I'm sorry. What did the Minnesota Nebraska? What was the line
Plus
on
seven
that?
and a half.
Plus
Plus seven
seven
and
and
a
a
half
half.
for the Golden Gophers.
Okay. Coolio. All right. As we were talking about James Franklin, They go to Iowa.
It's just, you jumping all on Iowa, I'd imagine.
I'm gonna take Iowa minus the 3. Let's see. I'm gonna take Jesus. I'm gonna take
Jesus is good.
Michigan State plus 27.5
Is Indiana?
against Indiana.
I don't know about that one, bro.
That's a lot of damn points, man.
Yeah, I know, but Indiana and Signetti don't care. That's like, oh, really? You don't think we can do that? Okay, go drop 35 on them.
Let's go NFL. Um,
The Bears.
oh, is that right? I'm gonna take the Colts plus the 1.5. And that's almost at San Diego against the Chargers. All right. Good luck, fellas. That's going to
Yeah.
do it for this week's edition of the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I want to thank everyone for listening. We greatly appreciate it. You can catch our podcast at Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or wherever you find your favorite podcast. You can also catch the video version on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search for HP53 Productions. There you will find a link to our video podcast and also the Super Duper podcast hosted by Rob Griggs. I was about to say something else, but I don't think we even do that other show anymore. Oh well. Yo, Glenn.
So much for that promo. Them guys. Whatever.
I love him though. I love him. I love Marshall. I do. Yo, Glenn.
Yep.
Please take us out.
Hey, like we always say here, Easy Smoking the GM. We ain't saying we right. We just don't think we're wrong. Bear down.
Bear down.